Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to VHI Gaming and Anime Podcast. I'm Hawk.
I'm Krim.
I'm Shroud.
And I'm Phoenix.
That was a very unconfident I'm Shroud.
Well, it's always I was last, so when you pointed to me, I was like, oh, okay, I'm Shroud.
I'm Shroud. It's been a while since we've done the actual podcast, about a month, I think.
Something like that.
Sorry about that. We've been trying other things out and doing stuff.
You've been lazy.
Well, yes and no. Things have come up the past couple of weeks, which were why we weren't able to do anything as much as we didn't like that we couldn't.
Yeah.
However, we're back tonight, so yay.
Yeah.
I know that we had also mentioned something about doing a Death Note live reaction to the Netflix Death Note.
It's happening at some point, just not tonight.
Yes.
Maybe.
We're having technical difficulties trying to get everything up and running so that we can give you the best experience possible of a movie that I have very low expectations on.
Oh, I have some severely low expectations on it too, but I still think it's gonna... It'll be an enjoying experience amongst us to have that, and
Anyhow, I think tonight we want to try and cover some really brief news, try and get a lot of stuff out of the way. Try and take care of what we need to.
There's a couple of stuff that's happened in the last couple of weeks that we are gonna try and get to. I guess we'll start off with the Corner Reborn and talk about what's been going on over there.
Yes. As many know, 14 has reached its 4-year anniversary, I think?
Yeah. 4-year.
4-year anniversary. We're currently... we have the Rising event that's going on.
Indeed.
Which was actually kind of fun. We still have one person, or no? I don't know. Phoenix, did you do the Rising event yet? Okay, then we've got 2 people in the room who have not done the Rising event.
They need to get on it.
Definitely a wonderful thing. Let's see, what else? They did the 14-hour broadcast that they normally do. In that time, we had a live letter at the early point.
Yeah.
And it was 4.1 part 1. So that means there's going to be another live letter that occurs between now and before 4.1 releases.
Yeah.
And they're going to talk about the second part of 4.1. There are a lot of things to look forward to. Most importantly, they're opening Shirogane.
About time.
So there will be land for sale.
I can't wait to see what it's going to look like. Or, I can't wait to get there, should I say. Because I know our free company says we're getting houses there.
I hope we are.
Or housing, not houses, housing.
I hope we are, because, the housing market is true end game.
Yeah.
Then or someone's going to buy an entire war just to be alone.
God, better not.
Maybe on some of the other servers, but I really doubt on ours. Because that would require a lot of money.
Yeah. Money I still don't know how people get.
Crafting and gathering is usually the best way, but even then, until you get to like the end game stuff of crafting and gathering, you're not really going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
certain areas are very profitable.
Yeah, that's another way.
Yes.
The yokai stuff's back too.
Yeah, Yokai Watch has come back to Eorzea.
Until November 1st, it looks like.
Flying sperm, okay?
I guess now's a good time to say this is a, the content's unrated, so listener discretion is advised.
We've also got new optional items.
Yeah, we do.
The Edda set from House of the Dead.
Right.
And yes, that does include the sides.
Indeed.
We've got people who are getting their Falcon mounts.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcon mounts, the first round, have been released. For those who don't know, the way you get the Falcon mount, between the time of July 1st and September 30th, you have to subscribe. You have to have subscribed for a total of 90 days.
Yeah.
Which, for those of us who are on a renewing subscription, shouldn't be hard, because that's 3 months.
Yeah, basically.
So as long as you're subscribed for those 3 months, you're good.
You're golden.
The only times that do not count is any free months or things like that from being registered or what have you.
Right.
You have to have actually paid for a total of 3 months.
Indeed.
And there was a round that came out recently of people who had gotten it, and they had subscribed for the 3 months already by a certain point and have already gotten theirs. The rest of us will get ours sometime between October 4th and 5th, somewhere around in there. I think is what's being said.
Makes sense.
As we said, Yokai Watch is back.
Yeah.
And the Mog Station is in fact having a sale, 30% off most items.
I know jump potions aren't included in that, I don't think.
No, the jump potions are not included in that sale. And I think the new optional items are not included, but like all the rest of the stuff, like the mounts,
the Power Ranger stuff,
the emotes, dies.
Yeah.
I think Fantasias are actually on sale as well.
Oh wow.
I mean, but I mean, who really uses those anymore? I mean,
yeah,
right?
I mean, totally no one ever.
But yeah, there's that, and let me think. Is there anything else that needs to be said?
As far as 14, I don't think so. At least I haven't heard of it.
I can't think of anything else that needs to be said as far as 14. So
moving right along.
Yeah.
There is some news out of the Sonic world. I know since our last podcast, Sonic Mania has been released. I've been playing it, as you've seen on the channel already. Or, yeah, as you've seen on here on Twitch and on our channel. I've been playing a little bit of it. It's great. It's a fun game. I suck at it, but it's still a fun game. And news out of Sonic Forces. I feel like it's a game, so we have to kind of cover it. I'll pull it up here online just so I can be sure, but they've released that they announced that the release date is for America is November 7th, which is 2 days before Japan gets it on November 9th, which is neat for a Sonic game, or any game out of Japan, really. So they've also announced that there is going to be a bonus edition for Sonic Forces for a limited time. Luckily, me and Shroud have already got money down on it, so we're going to be getting our bonus edition. But the bonus edition is special because it's only $40, not $40 extra, straight up $40. And it's going to include... Oh, this is new. It comes with 4 art cards, a Sonic Forces themed skin for your controller, whether it be the DualShock 4, Xbox One, or the Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch. And it's going to have new skins to go with it. I heard numbers from 13 to 15 different skins for your characters you can get, including games from Persona 5, Jet Set Radio, Super Monkey Ball, Knights, and Puyo Puyo. Which a lot of people are going crazy over the Persona 5 outfits. Nobody knows what all they're going to be except for the Joker, which I think I've shown you the picture, Krim.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks weird, but
yes.
Hey, it's gonna be neat. I'm just not sure if they're gonna include just Joker or more than just Joker. Which
Shroud, you're there trying to get to the Rising event, yes?
Yes, but I needed to check on a few things. I will.
It's in Ulda.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sonic Forces, like I said, it releases in America on November 7th and then in Japan on November 9th. And it is going to be released on all 3 major consoles, the PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and also for the PC.
Well, here's the question.
Yes.
The release date in Japan, what day is it?
It's November 9th. I believe it's a Thursday.
A Thursday?
Because it's released here on a Tuesday.
I wasn't sure because usually I know that in Japan they do a lot of their releases on Fridays.
Ah.
So, I mean, that's why I thought, oh, well, that's probably why that happened.
So yeah, that's news from Sonic. Not really much else, other than they already kind of announced a couple, like 3 songs from Sonic Forces. The supposed main villain, who was, in my opinion, is very interesting for a Sonic villain, but that's for another show, another podcast, and another time. Also, one that I really don't want to mention, but again, feel like we kind of have to. If you haven't already seen it, Accolade's coming back with their stupid game, Bubsy. Yeah, October 31st. That's all we're gonna say. Like I say, we feel we have to do it, but we're not big fans of it because I feel like Bubsy already ran its course a long time ago, and we know how that ended up.
I wish it were coming out on April 1st. That way I could be like, it's an April Fool's joke.
I wish it would have. The only reason Bubsy is gotten so much publicity is because of the amount of luck it had with Sonic Forces coming out with the whole 3rd character, and the time they didn't know who it was. A lot of people said it was going to be Bubsy. And then, like, Bubsy, not even a month later, came out with their trailer for their game, so it wasn't like, oh, we're going to capitalize to make a new game. It was well, they gave us a lot of publicity beforehand, so let's just go ahead and just say we're making a new game. Because when they announced their game, they had levels already. So it wasn't just like they said, hey, it's coming out. Stay tuned. I don't know. So what else?
Trying to think what else is going on in the world of gaming and anime.
Well, no, Funimation. You were telling me earlier that Funimation is going to be dubbing new anime.
Yeah, there's a lot of new anime that's being simul-dubbed. Knights and Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful anime. If you love mech and you love fantasy, definitely one you need to check out. You've got In Another World with My Smartphone. It's going off that whole genre of In Another World. In other words, something happens to the main character, he dies, and he ends up in another world.
Yeah. Sounds interesting.
Well, I'll say this much. Our friend Josh Grail, does the voice of the main character.
Oh, good.
He does a wonderful job.
What is it with Josh Grail and other worlds and cell phones?
I don't know, right?
It's like it's not the first time he's been in this position.
But the difference is, at least this time, there's not a yandere that's after him.
Not that we know of yet.
No, I'm pretty.
Well, no, but
Hopefully, it stays that way.
But yanderes aren't that bad.
Not for poor old Josh Grail.
Well, you say that now, but then when one gets on top of you and holds a knife over you,
And has one of those urinal things.
you kind of start, saying, maybe it wasn't a good idea to get a yandere girlfriend.
As if the time when you ran from her, locked yourself in a room, and she peeked through the mail slot to tell you goodnight wasn't bad enough. I'm pretty sure you knew it was bad whenever she sedated you, tied you to a chair, and forced you to pee into a little urinal thing like the doctors had.
Yeah.
Future Diaries fucked up.
I thought we were role-playing.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed Future Diaries. That was pretty good. For what it was.
It was, though. It really was. I don't regret buying it.
Me neither. Let me think what else is coming out. Restaurant to Another World.
Right.
It's an interesting one. It's about food.
God.
But not in that way.
Yeah, because Shroud started watching Food Wars earlier, and he quickly learned why we call it food porn.
Yes.
Yeah, that anime's so distracting. They're not allowing me to play it during the podcast.
No.
And I can
No,
play
Food Wars is good, but it's
Pokemon.
banned. Its playing is banned during the show. You can watch it before or after all you want, and we support it, just not during the show.
Before we get to a podcast that we bring to some kind of convention.
Yes, well,
Speaking of convention,
we'll get to that later.
we'll get to that later.
Yes. Restaurant to Another World, as I was saying. It's kind of this restaurant that's in our world.
Right.
The regular human, normal world that we live in is somehow able to travel to another world where there are elves, fairies, lizard men, beast men, dragons, fantasy type characters.
Right.
And this restaurant shows up in that world for only one day out of the week. And that is the day of Saturn.
Oh,
Or
God.
Saturday.
The day of Saturn.
But yes, and they consider it the 7th day of the week, which, I mean, if you
Technically.
get technical here, it is.
Yeah.
So that means it's showing up in that other world today.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting because all the regular customers have one item, one menu item that they absolutely love, and that's what they order every time they go there.
Right.
Like the Red Dragon. She loves beef stew. She will order a big freaking pot of beef stew and take it home with her. And she is always the last person to visit for the day.
And this is the dragon.
The Red Dragon.
You hear that, cows? Dragons are not your friends.
Nope. Not at all.
But yes. And another thing, like, the elves, their taste buds are sensitive in a way that there are things that they can't eat. Like, they can't eat normal meat. They can't eat certain types of grains and produce and whatnot. It has to be a certain way.
Well, that sucks for them.
It does, but there are actually menu options that an elf can actually get, and one of them, one of the elves that shows up regularly, actually eats like a tofu steak.
Okay.
It's kind of an interesting thing, and like a lot of the stuff they show, like each episode, each relatively 30-minute episode has 2 different menu items that show up. And it can vary depending on show. And like I think this past week, the fairies showed up for the first time, and the main dish that they showed for that was a crepe.
Okay. Crepe.
Like a really fruity, creamy crepe.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it was kind of interesting because, you know, the Fairy Queen got news that this door had just suddenly appeared in their area. It's like, where'd this door come from? Where does it go? And, you know, all that.
Right.
So, they eventually decided to take a look into it and investigate, and they found out that it was a restaurant from another world. And they ordered something, and it's just a great show. I mean, you know, it's not heavy action packed. It's kind of very slice of life, almost.
Okay.
I think, what was the other one? Knights of Magic.
I think I see that red dragon you're talking about.
Yeah, you probably did.
Papa Likey.
My first girlfriend is a gal.
Yeah, that's one I've been intrigued with since you had mentioned it.
Yes, this one's an interesting one as well. Again, it's kind of very slice of life.
Mm-hmm.
Because it deals more with like high school drama, that sort of stuff. And I like it myself. A lot of people say that it's trash, that it's garbage, and whatnot. I enjoy it. And I've even watched the English dub. Like I've been watching it subtitled.
Right.
All of these I've been watching subtitled because they are far beyond where they are dubbed.
Yeah.
But the dubs are good too. They really got the characters down pat. Like I was not expecting that from them on the My First Girlfriend Is Gal.
Right.
And the best way to put it is the main character that follows is Junichi, and he is a second year, a sophomore in high school, and he thought his high school life would be different, that he'd be able to get a girlfriend. But he has kind of been stuck in this sort of perpetual loser state, along with his 3 other friends, Shinpei, Keigo, and Minoru. Of course, Minoru has more problems than I really care to talk about.
I see someone who don't have a problem whatsoever in the world. Well, maybe then she has 2, and they're kind of big.
Yeah, I see who you're talking about. That's Nene.
Nene. Oh, don't worry, baby. I ain't gonna say Nene to you.
That is Junichi's childhood friend.
Lucky ass bitch.
Yeah, she actually has affections for him as well, and
She wants the D. Do not say Nene.
honestly, yes, she does.
That's awesome.
That's actually a thing in the show.
Oh God.
If you watch it, you'd see.
I'm definitely gonna start watching it.
I mean,
The plot sounds great.
I thought there was a lot of fan service in Monster Musume.
Oh God.
Well,
Spoiler alert.
Is it?
There's a lot of fan service.
Is there an uncut version? I'm asking for a friend.
As of right now, no.
Damn.
should I talk about that thing we learned about Dragon's Maid last night, or should we save that after?
Let's wait till after. Well, I will say I will only say this just because I thought it was a nice little observation. A lot of people tend to give people who want to look up Rule 34 about Kana a lot of crap, even though she's technically over 18, when Kana herself is into lolly.
Oh yeah, she is. If you look into the manga, yeah.
Yeah, if you looked into the manga, you'd know. And Krim's just giving me that nod, like, yeah.
Krim knows.
So, before next time you think about giving someone crap for wanting to look up Rule 34 of Kana, back the hell off. And no, I've never looked up Rule 34 Kana, and I don't plan on doing it. But
nice.
I never have.
Also, but if you want to know Hawk's internet history, I have it right here.
Hey. Some things just don't need to see the light of day.
Well, I will say this much. There is some pretty good Kana art, especially that makes her look like she is of age.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's not lolly if she looks 18, especially considering she's over 1,000 years old.
I know, so technically, at that point, it doesn't become lolicon, it becomes petite.
Well, it's kind of a lolicon because, you know, she is kind of giving off that look and vibe that
so
she
do
is.
petite girls, but you don't see petite women categories on Pornhub called underage or children. They're called petite. No, back off. I'm in the right here. I'm not a crook.
Lies, Mr. Nixon. Lies.
I don't believe it's theft at that point. I believe it's called something else.
But yeah, on to what we were talking about. Well, that's
back onto the railroad tracks.
Wait, we were on tracks?
I know.
We were at one point, but then the train got derailed by some guy named Norton.
Yeah.
Okay, for those of you who are interested, you know, I've been watching Markiplier play the game West of Loathing.
Oh, yeah.
I need to watch that then.
Yeah, it's hilarious. There are so many references. They get to this one town, and this guy won't let them in because he is Emperor Norton.
Oh, God.
And because we don't have a crown for him, he can't sign a proclamation to allow us to continue building our railroad into town. And somehow we get on his nerves, and so he infects us with antivirus.
Oh, God.
Norton antivirus.
I know.
Yeah.
I caught it.
Well, anyhow, he takes the train that we had brought all the way to the edge of town, takes it off the tracks, and it's riding back somewhere.
God.
And you have to follow the tracks that it leaves, not the actual railroad tracks. The tracks the train leaves in the desert to find the train.
Choo-choo.
Sounds about right.
But yes. Also, another thing that we actually want to put out there, and we're keeping these people in our thoughts and prayers, are those who were affected by the recent Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah.
Because, to my understanding, what I've heard from Ketch, and he's been doing research on this, Sentai Filmworks, their base of operation is in Houston.
Oh man.
And they were hit hard.
Yeah.
As well as some of their voice actors and various other workers. And some of them are even now homeless.
Mm.
So we want to throw that out there, throw the shout out, say that we're thinking of you and you're in our thoughts and prayers.
Definitely.
We hope that this gets taken care of because, you know, hurricane's bad.
Good.
We're also keeping those who are either already being affected by or are about to be affected by Sharkicane, Irma.
Yeah, no kidding. I've got family down in Florida right now, so thinking about them. I think where they're located, though, they didn't get all of it. They're in West Palm, but I think the hurricane itself went off to the west coast, whereas West Palm's on the east coast. They're still getting hit with some stuff. They're just not getting the brunt of it like everyone else is. But still, for like you just said, for those who are already going through it or who are going to be going through it.
Because
from what
I've heard, from what I understand, Irma's going to be a beast.
Irma is the largest recorded hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean. To put that in perspective, Hurricane Andrew, which has done the most damage of any hurricane, just got beat.
Like, badly.
Badly. Like, Andrew got knocked, no pun intended, Andrew got knocked out of the water by Irma.
Well, let's just put it this way. Irma came up and she's like, oh, the record's this? Hold my beer.
No kidding. The storm itself is bigger than the entire state of Ohio. It's so big, when they originally had it projected, it was going to go up the entirety of Florida and cover all of Florida.
Is it just me, or are hurricanes just getting bigger further downtown?
I have a theory about that, but this isn't Y-Files, so...
Well, yeah, that. But let's also keep in mind, from what I've heard and from what I understand, Irma's going to make landfall. And when she makes landfall, she's going to continue a bit up the east coast.
They have it projected hitting us.
Yes.
And when it hits us, it's still going to be a tropical storm. Which is bad because, one, we're located in Tennessee. Any storm that's hit us was not a tropical storm. When Katrina hit Tennessee, it had been downgraded to just a regular heavy storm, as far as I know. When Harvey came through, again, it was just a bad thunderstorm.
Yes.
Irma is still going to be a tropical storm when it hits us.
Yes. Well, let's put this in perspective, okay? Irma's going to hit land in Florida, go through Florida, go through, I think it's what, Georgia and Alabama?
Yeah.
And it's going to hit part of Tennessee, like a pretty good chunk of Tennessee, as well as still hitting some of the Carolinas.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
at one point, they had it projected to go up the coast, and it was going to hit South Carolina, and it was still going to be a Category 1 when it hit South Carolina.
Yes.
That's like... it's insane stuff. And it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal to a lot of people, including those who are on the coast, but It's like, it's not as, well, I'm not even going to say that then, but it's bad. It's going to be bad because Tennessee is not built for tropical storms. We're not built for hurricanes because guess what, folks? We don't live near the water.
That's why people...
We have to travel far to see the ocean.
That's why people were surprised. It was like, y'all ran out of salt for the roads of the snow. When was this, Covington?
Yeah, like Covington, back before we moved here, like a few years ago, it snowed so much and so bad that we ran out of salt for the roads.
They're like, how did you run out of salt?
We don't.
We
We don't need it half the time.
And when it does happen, we're fucked.
We just don't have it.
It's just, let me put it this way. I'm probably not going to have work on Wednesday because of a rainstorm. I have never missed work because of a rainstorm, and I'm going to end up missing it probably because of this hurricane.
It's just, you know, it's funny. We all live in the same country, but yet we all experience so different things. Like, Minnesota, it was like, y'all are driving on lakes? What witchcraft is this?
Yeah. Cars aren't meant to drive on lake. I blame the eclipse, damn it. I mean, after this eclipse happened, it's like, everything's going nuts.
Welcome to VHI, where we get crazy ideas of the
Yeah. The eclipse is the reason for Hurricane Irma.
Well, you know, those ancient Mayans did say...
The end of the world was coming in 2012.
Well, not only that, but the fact that they have always believed that the eclipse was an omen for the end of the world. Just saying.
Yeah. I heard someone at some point say that after the first eclipse, it kind of sent everything into a dark age because the last eclipse, like the one we had this year, happened. You didn't hear about pretty much anything until the Great Depression, and then it was all bad until it started to look up. So it's like, oh shit, what's gonna happen to us?
You thought we were talking about video games. You're crazy.
Welcome to the Y-Files.
Well, you know, there are some things that we talk about that has relevance to our community.
Yeah.
Like I said, Hurricane Harvey hit Sentai Filmworks very hard.
Yeah.
We've got Hurricane Irma on her way. And then behind her, we've got Jose.
Who's going to, I think, make landfall on Mexico?
Maybe.
Somewhere in that area. Either Mexico or it's going to be hitting the Texas area again. It's in the Gulf.
We also have Katia.
Yeah.
She's coming across that Gulf of Mexico area. Jose's behind Irma.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
So Jose is, like I said, he's the one behind Irma.
Round two.
So he's probably going to hit Florida, and that's probably going to be about it.
I hope so.
We hope. Because he doesn't look like he's quite as powerful as Irma.
Yeah, I don't... Compared to Irma, I don't think any of them look that big. I think Harvey and Irma were probably our two big ones.
But Irma more so.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Because it was crazy, you know, she went down one category there for a while after hitting Cuba.
And then she went right the hell back up.
Strength, and she was like, you know what? Let's get going.
Basically. Like, she was a 4 for a while, or she got to a 5, hit Cuba there, got knocked down to a 4, and she brushed that off, got right back up to a 5, and she's making landfall. She's like, this is nothing. It's like the John Cena of hurricanes.
Yeah.
Except we kind of can see her coming. It's kind of hard not to.
It's kind of when you see her coming, you see those sharks that she kind of picked up.
Hey, I'm here, and I brought my pets.
Because that's absolutely what we need.
I know, right? Oh, geez, that was close to the mic.
But yeah, which brings me to another thing, and this is something that Ketch has talked to me about that he probably hadn't talked to anyone else about.
Probably not.
But in early October, for about 2 weeks, he's supposed to be going down to Houston to help the Lowe's down there.
Oh, wow.
With some work. And, you know, I think it's mostly for relief effort and whatnot.
Right.
But, you know, he works at Lowe's. This is what he does. And he's going down there for 2 weeks. He's going to be paid double overtime.
Oh, wow.
And they are paying for his room and board.
Well, that's awesome.
So, I mean, you know, if during that time you don't hear Catch on our show, don't be surprised. It's because he's out there fighting the good fight.
Hell yeah.
But yes, as I've said, our thoughts and prayers out to everyone being affected by these terrible, terrible storms.
Yeah, and let's not forget, after Harvey hit, there was a earthquake in North Texas too, and it was a pretty sizable one, so I don't want to leave them out.
Absolutely. I mean, anything that goes on in the world like that, it needs to be discussed to an extent.
And the wildfires up in Oregon.
Yeah.
In that area, because they don't ever really get those. So it's kind of weird. I've seen pictures of people from that area where the skies were completely gray and not from overcast.
Yeah.
So.
I wished we could send some of the rain that Harvey's been giving to us to them.
Yeah, they need it. They need it.
But unfortunately, we can't exactly control the weather.
Yeah. But
otherwise, I'd be sending Irma to North Korea.
Yeah. God knows they need it.
Here you go, Kim Jong-un.
Handle a hurricane.
You love your nuclear testing? Have some Sharknado.
We probably just say nuke the hurricane in a massive failed attempt. Though I don't know. I think I heard that you can actually do that. But yeah, like I said, our thoughts are like he said. Our thoughts and prayers are definitely with them, and we just hope that we can stay strong as a community in this time and help each other out and keep each other's backs and whatnot.
Yes.
So.
And then, of course, we have the few deaths that have happened. Trying to think, it was 2 country legends.
Yeah, Troy Gentry died, and Don Williams?
I think that was him.
Let me look that one up, because I want to be sure we get him right before the show's over, but I know for a fact it was Troy Gentry.
Yeah, because Montgomery Gentry.
Yeah.
That one I knew for sure. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their families as well, because they're influential in some ways. I mean,
yeah, it was definitely Don Williams.
I mean, when you think about it, yes, we're gaming an anime show, and these aren't necessarily people who are part of that industry, but still, I feel that it's important that we get that out there.
Yeah.
Let them know that we are thinking about them, because this is, for us, local.
Yeah.
Because we live close to Nashville.
Yeah.
And because of that, you know, country music in general.
Yeah, like I grew up.
Because we're not known as the country. Nashville's not known as the country music capital of the world. They're known as Music City.
Yeah.
So it's not just about country anymore.
It's really not.
But that is really where it all started.
Yeah.
The Opry, the rhyming.
Yeah, is if you wanted a country career, you'd go to Nashville.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't matter what genre you want to be, you come to Nashville. I mean, Lizzie Hale's here, dude from Seether lives here, Kings of Leon.
There are so many people who come here.
Dave Mustang has a house this way.
If you're sure, perhaps I'm not
So,
Yeah.
a prodigy here.
There's so many people.
yeah.
And, you know, it's what they did.
Yeah, I know. The Troy Gentry death kind of hits me a little bit because when I grew up, I listened to Montgomery Gentry, and they're one of my favorite duos, my favorite acts, should I say, from country music. And Troy was always my favorite from the two. So it surprised me big time whenever I had heard the news. I know Warp had told me about it. She's how I found out about it.
Yeah, in all honesty, I grew up on country as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just a part of living in this state. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
typically country's one of the things that you end up listening to. Now, it's not necessarily my favorite genre of music by any means, but I have enjoyed country music a lot, and I remember a lot of Montgomery Gentry and various other artists that I've listened to over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you've got paid.
Yeah.
You know, when something like this happens, you pay your respects. And I feel, you know, that's what needs doing. You know, our thoughts and prayers are with those families. We wish you the best because, I mean, we know that this is going to be a trying time for you. With everything you have to handle.
Yeah.
You'll get through it, though.
It's gonna be hard.
It will. But you'll get through it. And I have faith in that because this happens on a pretty regular daily basis as far as, you know, actual death in and of itself. But yeah. Yeah. Also, we'd like to throw it out there, if anyone can or is willing to donate, donate to the Red Cross.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know that they're going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
Especially with what's coming our way. And I'm not saying to donate for my benefit. Donate because you want to donate.
Yeah. Definitely.
Donate because you want to help people.
And even if it's not money, like time and labor and efforts.
Donate blood. They're going to need it.
Yeah. They're going to need a lot of things coming up here in the next few months. It's going to be a while.
I mean, you know, it's just the way I see things. And if we were able, I would definitely donate.
Yeah. Same here.
Unfortunately, I don't think many, if any of us here at the podcast are as able to donate money, time, what have you.
Yeah.
And
it's not because we don't want to. I'm pretty sure we do. I do. I can't speak for everyone.
oh, absolutely.
In
Are
fact-
you kidding me? If I had the capability to do it, I would be down there in Houston helping with the relief effort.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do not have that capability. But yes, I really can't think of anything else.
I can't either.
Is there anything I'm missing?
Not that I know of.
About the only thing else I could think of to talk about is what's going on with us.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
First and foremost, we have actually bought the rights to a domain name, and we are about to have a website up.
Indeed, we are. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be nice. We have our, you know, let's go ahead and say this. If you want to send an email to us to correct anything we've said, to add to something we've said, or just for whatever reason, shoot us an email at the main line at dobmedia.com. God, it feels good to say that. Just put in the subject line VHI Gaming and Anime so we can know it was for the show. But the main line, all one word, lowercase, no spaces, no underscores or anything. The main line at dobmedia.com. DOUBMEDIA period COM.
Let's get going.
Yes.
God, that felt
And,
good.
and for anyone who is wondering, the domain name, the web address that we are in fact going to have for our website, is in fact dobmedia.com. Now I know what you're saying. Wait a minute, you're VHI.
You're not wrong.
What is this Dob Media? Why are you using that?
Well,
Well, my
we're going to tell you,
friends.
you impatient-minded people. I'm sorry.
Sit down. Get you a cup of something to drink. Because it's story time.
Oh, my.
Before the age of the internet.
Long ago, the four nations got along. But then, the Fire Nation attacked.
Known as Konami.
Oh, God. You know, that's not wrong. That's not technically wrong to the podcast, if you think about it.
Lived in peace. Capcom. Konami. Square Enix.
Oh, God.
EA?
We all lived in harmony. Then everything changed when Konami attacked.
Right?
Wait. No. We have to have one company that actually pretty much died out.
Accolade.
Because they would have to be the Airbenders.
Accolade.
There we go.
They
Instead
are the
of-
saviors at the end.
Good point.
Well, you know, to be the saviors, you have to bring an end to Konami.
So
Oh.
what you're telling
Sega.
me is Bubsy
No.
is the avatar.
No.
God.
Kojima Games is the
Kojima
avatar.
Productions, yes.
Kojima Productions.
Oh, it's,
What is wrong with this?
I like how you derailed these things.
I know, right?
But yes.
Story time.
Dob Media is in fact the parent company.
It is.
We are just basically an offshoot of Dob Media.
We're little babies.
Not everybody who is VHI belongs to Dob Media,
Like me, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
but not everyone who is Dob Media belongs to VHI.
Like, Skirt Boy.
Yes.
We love you, Skirt Boy.
No, we don't. Victory.
But yes, there's that, and right now we're going to be, at some point, working on this webpage to get it up and running.
Some point in the near future, for sure. We don't mean some point as in we're gonna get to it, because it's gonna happen soon.
Yes. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, so please forgive us if there might be some days that we miss podcast for this. We're trying to get this up and running. We're trying to get it working. once we get everything going, it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already like super ecstatic about the website itself because, yeah,
It's your thing.
it's where I shine.
Yeah.
It's just how I am. But yes, is there anything else that you can think of that we need to talk about?
Honestly, not really. I mean, I think we've covered pretty much all of what we needed to and said our mentions and got the news out.
Phoenix, you got anything?
How about some of our other projects that we've worked on?
Yeah, kind of. We could say what we've been doing in the time away. I know me and Shroud, for one, have been doing our own thing as kind of... We've been fans of the Sonic series for quite some time. In fact, we fell in love with the game first after Sonic Adventure 2. And Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the GameCube, need to be specific, because there's a couple of different versions of it. But that has caused us to go back and play the original games, and has fallen in love with Sonic to a degree where we figured out we should do a Sonic podcast. So me and Shroud are doing that now as a side project, but it's not really just a podcast about news. We're just discussions and having fun and BSing with Sonic. And the way we like to describe it is a couple of fans doing a show about Sonic who love the games and the shows but don't take them or ourselves seriously at all. So, and take what you know about the Sonic fandom and do not apply it to us, because we also hate that.
Yeah, I mean, there are good fans. There are. They're just hard to find.
They really are. Believe me, we've made fun of the fans already. We've made fun of those fans, the ones that everyone hates. We acknowledge that with good reason. With good reason. With damn good reason. But yeah, with that, and then just the random gameplays here and there on the show, or on the VHI channel. That's pretty much what I've been doing in the past time. Not that much, but go check that out, or not. Doesn't pay me any mind. We love you. $20. I love you long time.
Let's see. What's the next one we want to go? Is there our two more projects?
Oh yeah. We were attempting we still are attempting our hand at doing a D&D campaign for the show, or for VHI. We had one recorded, but what were you saying about that one earlier? It just didn't...
That one, I think, we weren't, dedicated enough to it. It was pretty much all of your first times running 5th edition game, so...
Right.
We'll call that a practice run.
Yeah, so we're gonna redo it and release it for those who want to see it, and you can see the fruit of Phoenix's labor. So be looking forward to that, because we had fun with our practice run through, and I'm eager to get back into it.
Yes, me too.
And then we had a third one that is slipping from my mind right now.
That's the one Catch was. I think that's going to be his solo thing.
Oh.
Tales from the Geek Vault.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. The Tales from the Geek Vault. Not to take his thunder or anything, but Catch is wanting to start that up. If you remember our days back on Spreaker.com, he did a movie review with Topher J, and it's gonna be along the lines of that. It's gonna be a visual thing, where he discusses certain geek-related things, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. And it sounds real interesting, and
Absolutely.
want to wish him the best on it. If there's anyone who's more qualified to do something like that in our group, it's definitely him. So, and he's doing it from the vault, which is what I like to call it, because it's like the man cave looks like a freaking vault with all of the anime and stuff he's got everywhere. And you can look into the room, see all the anime, and he'll like, but wait, there's more, and open his closet, and there's more in there.
You do not want for anime in Ketch's house.
No, no, you do not.
Well, you know, you've got Papa Ketch, and then you've got Ketch himself.
And now Yandere-chan, and the other one.
Yes.
I don't want to say her name on the show because I don't think she has a handle yet.
Not yet.
I don't know if we've established one for her.
Not to mention you've also got Double D.
Double D, Dahlia, Gold.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other cousin, I think they're cousins, that hasn't really been on the show that much, but is still just as in anime as Ketch's, Tiny.
Ah, yes, Tiny. I was thinking of the other cousin.
The other cousin.
The other cousin who's female who shows up from time to time at Impact.
Ah, yeah, her.
Yes.
That's gonna be fun.
Absolutely.
Don't really know when the first one of those is gonna be up, but when it does, be on the lookout, because that is definitely gonna be interesting and fun. So, might have some guests. Might have some people on there. Some you've met, some you haven't met.
Might have a couple of haters.
Cup of haters.
Couple of haters.
Dude, speaking of cup of haters, speaking of boy Enzo Amore, Cass got injured.
Ow.
Yeah, in the middle of a push too. He was like getting like a lot of things were going his way, and he looked like he was going to get a championship run, but he blew out his knee in a match against Enzo, and he has to have surgery on it, and he's going to be out for about 6 to 9 months.
Wait. He fought Enzo?
Yeah, they're in a storyline. They hate each other now.
Ow.
Yeah, but I mean, that pretty much got put to an end when Cass got injured, and they moved Enzo Amore to 205 Live, which is the cruiserweight show, and he went immediately to the championship picture on that one, where he's challenging the champion tomorrow, I think, at the pay-per-view for the cruiserweight championship. So,
Cup of potatoes?
cup of potatoes, and you can't teach that.
Well, you could, but you'd need a degree.
Exactly. So that's our little 2 cents for wrestling. It's about as much as you're gonna get. Oh, he's in this now.
And he's missing a couple of letters.
He's going through Cheap Dungeon in the Rising event. Just to let everyone know, every password's going to be different. So you can't go online and look up the password like I did, because some people got Bahamut, some people got Crystal.
There are 4 passwords that I know of.
Oh, well, I know of Bahamut, Crystal, and Fantasy. Because mine was Fantasy.
Killing spree.
There's one other.
What's the other one?
Work, motherfucker.
Okay, I found the 2 letters. Just gotta put them in order now.
I can't really tell what yours is going to be.
I just gotta see the letters on the board, and I think I can figure it out.
Oh, that was my phone, my bad. I mean, I should have known mine was going to be Fantasy when I looked at the thing, and I couldn't really... There's a trick to this, actually.
I'm gonna try and figure it out myself.
There is, and it involves the first floor.
It does. Are you reading those red things on the wall? Those are neat.
They are.
Yeah, they're like little Easter eggs.
I can tell what yours is here from what yours is from here.
I can't really.
I just need to remember how it's spelled.
A.
Oh, he got
A? I thought it was gonna be Bahamut.
Yeah.
Bahamut's next. Our A's next.
Oh, okay.
H.
It's H.
A.
M. U. T.
Okay. I knew it was Bahamut. I have trouble spelling.
And now you get thrown in jail.
What?
Congratulations.
What?
You remember how we've talked about GM jail before? That's what that really is.
The shrines are
So that was GM jail that you're in.
Yes.
I thought so.
A quest led me here, admins.
Because I watched videos of what GM jail was supposed to look like, and then when I got here, I'm like, this looks a lot like GM jail. That's pretty neat. That is pretty neat.
Oh, he's a bard.
This is my favorite part, though. He's
He's the wandering minstrel. Of course he's a bard.
I didn't pay attention to his name.
looky. Watch and pay close attention.
I bet our audience is just enthralled with this commentary.
Yeah, because they're listening to our commentary while watching Phoenix's game.
See, watch this.
What's going on?
But just watch.
That's what GMs actually look like.
They do.
Yep.
You're looking at GM wardens.
Hi. Look.
But not only are you looking at them,
They're looking at me.
no.
The one man that scares away the GMs.
Just pay attention to his name.
He's.
Look at his name.
Look at his name. What does it say?
Naoki Yoshida. Yoshi P.
Oh God. Look, whatever you Hawk did it.
Hey, wait.
Hawk did it.
I've already seen Yoshi.
You screwed up.
You know you've done something bad when you get Yoshida's character in here.
Okay, Yoshi.
This is not the first time we've actually run into Yoshi P in the Rising event.
Yeah, I think he was in another one.
Yoshi,
One of the
just
past
to let
ones.
you know, I know I'm here and I'm not supposed to, but to be fair, it was your quest that led me here. Not trying to put blame on anything. He just strikes me down.
Yeah.
He's a samurai of a higher caliber.
Yeah, I know. I'm only at 60. Give me a break.
He's at level 100.
He'll give you a break, all right.
Still, I think it would have been cool if he ended up, if his little Lullafell Black Mage was somewhere in there, as well as him.
That would have been awesome. Because he does play a Lalafell Black Mage in the server.
Yeah. Well, now that we've got all the fun out of the way, I figure now we better
Go ahead and wrap up.
go ahead and wrap
I
up
just
now.
gotta say before we wrap up, I've been hearing the Great Warrior of Light, Rogard Whitebeard, by many players in this game, but there's a certain specialness when Yoshi calls me Great Rogard Whitebeard. I feel something.
I want you to feel special and all.
Shut up. Shut up.
But he does it for everyone.
Hey.
Bubble pop.
I don't care.
Including me.
Hey, it doesn't matter. You know what that means? We're all great to Yoshi. How's that?
Well, I mean, we're
He
playing
loves
his
all of
game.
his
Hey,
children. He loves all of his children, but that doesn't mean he can get annoyed by certain few.
So, you know what this reminds me of? A line Braun said in Game of Thrones.
Oh God.
We're friends. The fact that you're paying me helps.
Well,
Or something similar.
right. Well, guys, it's been fun. We're glad we can get another one of these out. Hopefully, we'll do them more often than normal. But
Yes.
I'm Hawk,
I'm Krim.
I'm the Shroud.
And I'm Phoenix.
and until next time, the motto we all love and live by: Don't logic.
Good night.
Good night.